When Manchester City triggered Erling Haaland's £51.2 million release clause from Borussia Dortmund, the football world declared it the bargain of the century. To the neutral fan, signing the most lethal absolute financial brilliance. To the sports economists and accountants monitoring Premier League profitability and sustainability rules, or PSR, it marked the beginning of the most expensive long before the 99-goal seasons, long before the title dominance, and long before City tied Haaland down to a landmark contract extension through 2034, Cristiano Ronaldo left behind a terrifying warning for English football. Everyone saw the goals, but almost everyone missed the financial blueprint, a model that destroyed Manchester United's dressing room, distorted the Premier League's entire salary ceiling, and forced Manchester City into a high-stakes accounting game with a single superstar asset. To understand why Erling Haaland's presence at Manchester City is the ultimate financial tightrope, you have to look past the official headline transfer fee. They almost always isolate the initial fee paid between clubs. But in elite modern finance, the transfer fee represents only a fraction of what accountants call the total cost of ownership. When City brought Haaland to the Premier League, that £51.2 million release clause was merely the entry ticket. Once you add the reported £34 million in agent fees split between his representatives and family, substantial signing bonuses, and a contract structure that guarantees a base wage of £500,000 a week, climbing upwards of £865,000 a week with performance bonuses, the true financial weight of Erling Haaland reveals itself. Over his initial 5-year period, Haaland's fixed total cost comfortably breached £200 million. When Manchester City secured his historic 9.5-year contract extension, locking him in through 2034, they did something unprecedented in domestic football history. They committed over £330 million in projected salary to a single individual before he even reached his 25th birthday. City didn't just buy a world-class striker, they bought a corporate mega-asset whose weekly overhead eclipses the total payroll of several Premier League squads. Locking down the world's greatest goalscorer for nearly a decade seems like an undeniable masterstroke for Manchester City. Yet that exact level of financial concentration is the precise spark that exploded Manchester United's internal stability when Cristiano Ronaldo walked through the doors of Old Trafford. So how did Ronaldo's return to England prove the hidden dangers of the single superstar wage model? In the summer of 2021, Manchester United signed Cristiano Ronaldo for a modest €15 million transfer fee. On the surface, it looked like cheap, elite goal-scoring depth. In reality, it triggered an economic disaster inside Old Trafford, known as the Wage Inflation Cascade. When United handed Ronaldo a reported wage package exceeding £500,000 a week, they shattered their internal salary hierarchy overnight. In squad dynamics, player compensation isn't evaluated in isolation. It's evaluated relative to your teammates. The moment Ronaldo became the league's highest earner, every contract negotiation at Manchester United changed instantly. When key figures like Bruno Fernandes or Marcus Rashford sat down to negotiate extensions, their baseline demands shifted upwards. If the club was paying over £500,000 a week to a 36-year-old, their agent's argument was simple: our client is playing every minute, pressing from the front, and sustaining this team. Why should he earn less than half of the star's wage? To keep key players happy, United were forced to offer massive pay rises across the board. Within 18 months, United carried the highest wage-to-revenue ratio among England's top clubs, loaded with unsellable contracts on bloated wages. When Ronaldo eventually departed following his explosive public fallout, the financial damage remained locked into United's balance sheet for years. This is the Ronaldo precedent. When you introduce a single hyper-earning superstar into a squad, you don't just pay that superstar. You end up paying every single starter an extra 30 to 40% just to keep the peace in the dressing room. Manchester United broke their wage hierarchy for Ronaldo and suffered total structural collapse. So how has Manchester City managed to pay Erling Haaland even higher figures without suffering the exact same dressing room revolt?
The reason Manchester City hasn't collapsed under the weight of Haaland's contract
comes down to how their accounting department constructs their roster around him. According to financial data, Manchester City carries the Premier League's largest fixed annual first-team payroll, surpassing $300 million annually before performance bonuses. Erling Haaland alone accounts for approximately 11.7% of City's total salary allocation. In almost any other sport or football club, concentrating nearly 12% of your payroll into a single position creates extreme operational risk. If that player gets injured, suffers burnout, or loses form, over 10% of your budget is effectively sitting idle on the bench. To offset this risk and survive Premier League PSR parameters, City executes a strict financial strategy: tiered squad compression. Unlike Manchester United, who handed top-tier wages to non-performing starters, City keeps the gap between Haaland and the rest of the squad strictly managed. While Haaland sits in his own elite wage tier, the secondary core, players like Phil Foden, Ruben Dias and Rodri, are grouped into a controlled second tier, earning between £300,000 and £380,000 weekly. Furthermore, City heavily utilises incentive-heavy bonus structures. Rather than bloating the base wage of every squad member, City links performance pay directly to silver trophies, Champions League progression and goal benchmarks. When Haaland scores 50 goals and wins the treble, his pay surges to £865,000 a week. But it does so precisely because the club is generating maximum commercial and prize revenues from those wins. City built a self-funding financial machine, where Haaland's high bonuses are subsidised by the trophies his goals deliver. By aligning Haaland's historic wages with trophy performance, City engineered a balance sheet that satisfies PSR guidelines while maintaining pitch dominance. Yet, as European rivals like Real Madrid adopt different financial strategies and rival Premier League clubs push for strict salary caps, is this super asset model sustainable? Or is City playing a game no other club in England can survive? Here is the final verdict from the financial team at NetSpend FC. Cristiano Ronaldo's second stint at Old Trafford proved that chasing a single global icon without a structured financial strategy can destroy a football club's wage ecology for a decade. Manchester City took Ronaldo's lesson and evolved it. They recognised that to carry a multi-hundred million pound superstar like Erling Haaland through 2034, you cannot operate like a traditional football team. You must operate like an elite financial institution. Clubs like Arsenal and Liverpool have actively resisted paying individual players over £400,000 a week, choosing squad balance over hyper-concentrated talent. They understand Arsene Wenger's timeless warning: the moment one player becomes bigger than the salary framework, the foundation of the team is at the mercy of that player's form. Manchester City made a different bet. They decided that Haaland's generational goal-scoring efficiency is worth breaking traditional Premier League financial norms for. Ronaldo proved the danger of the mega-wage model when executed out of desperation. Haaland proves the power of the mega-wage model when executed with absolute precision. Which leaves us with the ultimate question for the UK football community. Is committing over £300 million to Erling Haaland through 2034 the smartest deal in Premier League history? Or is it a financial precedent that will ruin English football? Leave your detailed analysis in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe to keep your ledgers clean, and we'll see you on the next audit.